Hi, Mary. How are you? I just wanted to not just write you a response to your letter to me about my video that I put out talking about my nonprofit work I set up doing different things in the deserts and around the world, mainly in like Asia and Egypt and Africa and Nepal. And I've been really successful, but it's been really hard to bring in money. And I don't really need a lot of money, but a couple $50 here, 25 there goes a long way. And I know there's a lot of people interested in my work, but I had this problem with my computer and I wasn't getting all my mail. So I felt like people were trying to maybe offer help and assistance financially for a few dollars here and there because there's a lot of excitement, I think, about it. But I was having so much trouble. That's why I put out that video saying, I might have like $100 a month to pay someone to help me figure out how to get some money flowing in. And you had asked like a lot of questions about the ins and outs legally of receiving donations. And basically, when I have $400 together, I can apply with the IRS in Washington for nonprofit status, which means I get on a list as a charity and then I can receive donations and I don't have to pay taxes on the donations. They can go directly into my charity and they're known as nonprofit, and people will know they could like write them off on their own taxes, or they know I'm a charity. But until that time, because I don't really have $400, I can accept donations, but I just have to pay taxes on them. Like if I get a donation of $100, I have to write it down and put it on my tax return and pay a tax. I'm still a nonprofit organization listed in California. I have the paperwork and I'm listed. I have all I'm registered with the Secretary of State of California as a nonprofit association. So they know I filled out the paperwork. I don't receive any profits. I'm allowed to receive a salary and pay my rent and my bills, but I'm not supposed to receive above, I guess beyond the cost of doing business and having a salary. So if I don't register with the IRS and get that extra nonprofit status with the Internal Revenue Service, then I have to pay taxes to the federal government, maybe not the state of California because I'm registered here, but to the federal government I'd have to pay taxes. So if I went about getting donations, I could give you copies of my nonprofit organization paperwork as certified by the state of California, and I could show, that. As far as the IRS, that's just my personal business. At the end of every year, I'd have to make track of every bit of money that came in and probably pay taxes on it. If I got enough donations, I could use $400 maybe and then get nonprofit status with the IRS in Washington. And then I'm a nonprofit, not just in California, but also in Washington. Then it's a double thing, and I could give you that paperwork. So if you need to show that to help you, that would be great. The way I thought of ideas of making money is also to have fun. I mean, there's Facebook. You can create an event page on Facebook and invite people, and in the event page you can do anything. You can make it a day when people visit a club and see a band play, or meet somewhere at a nightclub, at a dinner place and have dinner, or meet for happy hour somewhere. Or you could create an event just to all meet and write something on Facebook on a certain day, a bunch of their thoughts, or show pictures from their camera of different pretty sights that they take pictures of. Or you can make a birthday party on Facebook and celebrate a birthday, say the birthday of the day some, really good thing happened in nature, because my company is about helping the earth regenerate. So maybe the day Ponce de Leon discovered the Fountain of Youth, the birthday of that, you have a event on Facebook and talk about how important good water is, and then people come at a certain time to that event on Facebook and they talk about it. Maybe people would make a donation through that event, or you could have an event and invite people to meet at a nightclub or a happy hour and ask that they come and maybe give a few dollars towards the cause, or and make it a voluntary donation. Or you could do whatever you wanted. I don't know, you might have a huge circle of friends. You might know people who are environmentally minded who go hiking in California. You might know how to set up your own kind of ideas. These are just my ideas. I love the idea of going to like San Juan Capistrano. There's a restaurant that celebrates the migratory birds that come there from Argentina every year. And it's have pictures and etchings of birds, and it would be fun. You just go for happy hour once a month or once every few months, or to that place in San Juan Capistrano, and you pull people who really love the migratory birds. And I could give you a lot of information, or you could direct them to read my Google page or my Tumblr page, read about who I am and how I relate to the migratory birds. And then people of San Juan Capistrano and that whole area that follow the migratory birds might come once every few months and meet at that restaurant. It's like a big Mexican restaurant, and they celebrate the swallows that come, and it's near the mission there, the old mission of San Juan Capistrano. It's like a special thing when the swallows come there. They celebrate every year, and it might be fun to have a fundraiser type thing where people come have for a happy hour and they have snacks and they talk about it, and they might be willing to give $25 each or something. And I could, if I had that every few months, that would be some money, and it would go right into my work in Africa and Nepal. And then I could show pictures of where the money went, and they could see it and they would know. I could make a little brochure or print out on my computer exactly how their money was spent. We could do that in LA, places that might be the kind of places that celebrate, like, honey, because we do a lot with bees and honey. And maybe a place that might think of beeswax. I don't know. Maybe a concern that uses beeswax in their products or something, and the importance of bees and how special they are. And I've learned a lot about insects, how much they do. So maybe if you think about some of these skincare people who do these incredible things with beeswax or something, or candle makers, I don't know. And just throwing off the top of my head of things that would work in LA. I know that one place is the birds. Then there might be other people that celebrate certain types of animals. Maybe a fundraiser at the zoo, like the observatory in Griffith Park, and a meet for a lunch or something up there and talk about the importance of animals, because we do a lot to hydrate animals and their habitats become much healthier. So the tigers right now and the lions in Africa are getting a little bit healthier. So I could have a fundraiser at the zoo up in Griffith Park and meet people for a picnic lunch, and maybe they could just have a big jar to donate money, a couple dollars here and there. That if I had something going every month or every second month, and it would be a lot of fun, there'd be really fun people to meet. There'd be excitement. It would be a lot of interesting conversation and fun people of all ages. We could do it in Hollywood. We could do it in San Juan Capistrano. And there's no cost. People just come, they buy a drink or bring a picnic lunch, and then maybe they're just willing to donate $20, or some people might have more money, and all of it would be accounted for. I'd pay a tax on it, and I would bring back to the next event, whenever it was, notice of how the money was spent, so they'd feel they were involved. Or I'd collect everyone's email address, or you could do that, and we'd stay in touch with everyone, and we could build a big circle of friends. You could go up to San Francisco. My brother lives up there. They're very excited about the environment up there. The Bay Area is really active. We both were up there together. There's a million things we could think of for people to get involved. They're huge activists up there. We could talk about horses. There's big horseback riding things. Doing a lot with wild horses in Nepal, saving them. And we could show pictures to the horse farmers up in San Anselmo area and have a little gathering at a pub or something. They could donate and show the pictures of the horses. I know in Point Reyes they obviously go horseback riding, and they have the wild cows, and we're helping save cows. So it could be a lot of fun. It could be meeting lots of fun people. We could keep a database. We could connect with them every few months and always send them photos. We could have an event every month somewhere in California and always be meeting the same people. We could meet lots of friends. It would be like the old days when we used to have a lot of fun, and it would be exciting. I could pay you $100 a month right now, but if it got going and you did a good job, maybe you make a lot of money. I mean, you can get a salary if it turns into something and it really helps the world and the environment. Of course, you would probably make more money. I could pay more my bills, which are not being paid very well. My roommates help me with so much. It's just a need to bring in some money to everyone deserves a salary. I hardly make any money. And I know the funnest part would be making friends and talking about it. And I know you're excited. So I hope you like the idea and think of it. And I'm sure these ideas that I'm bringing up will bring up ideas for you, but the most fun would be making friends and talking about it all and having something to rally people around. And at first it might not jump into something exciting. It might be a real trickle of just a person here and there, but over time, things like that take on a huge meaning because it's such a good cause. So I think it could get really big within, like, say, 9 months. Usually things for me take 9 months to really percolate. I don't know if you feel that way. So I could certainly pay $100 a month, and it would at least give you some impetus. You don't have to put every bit of your time into it. I know you go to work, but you could spend a few hours a month. It doesn't have to be a big deal, but you could put thought. It's just a matter of being creative and thinking of some inspiring ideas that will take hold in people. If the first idea doesn't work, eventually an idea takes hold, and then it's really quite simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, and then it just rolls and it becomes something on its own. So I think you'd be fun to do it with. You were my old friend. We could reconnect. We could have fun. We could meet people. We could go out if we have to drive up to Northern California. I have a car. I know you probably do. We could go up there. My brother's up there, or we stay in a cheap hotel. It would be a lot of fun. There's Central California, all the farmlands. If we got into bees, they might be interested in our work because I have all kinds of tips from working in Africa, how to make farms more productive. And you know the valleys up in Central California are huge in their farmlands. Maybe they'd like some of my techniques. You never know. If I put a few things together with some of these donations and put some little tricks I know or stimulation techniques I know into a farm, if they were willing, and try to model test, they might find their vegetable output is greater, then they might be a place to start a little circle and get donations running. I have a lot of ideas for the farmers in between North and South California. So I could see us working in the whole state and doing great work. And there's also things that I do in the mountains, in the San Gabriel Mountains. So there's the mountain communities, and it's been very successful there. I think the snowpack was recorded as higher last year. So I have certain things that I can show brought about some good results from my first couple of years. So I could give you all kinds of things to work with to show the impact, pictures, proof, all kinds of people's speeches, all kinds of things where people from all over the world have said a few nice things. There's all kinds of backup and evidence to show it's a worthy cause and it's made impact and people like it. I have friends in Nigeria who've invited me to come and win an award. I have friends in Kenya who've invited me to win a gift and an award. I've invited to Nepal. So I have all those people. I have a letter from the city of Whittier thanking me for work here. So I have letters you can show to prove that it's valid charity and not fly by night. So I hope you'll think about it, and I hope to hear from you. I'm going to send you this now on Facebook, and let me know what you think. It'd be great fun, I think.